Hello and welcome to Passion Harvest. This is Luisa TV, and each week I'm going to bring you a theme and talk for about 5 minutes about what's happened for me during the week and offer you passionate tools and tips and inspiration to help you live a lived life, help you live a life with passion, and help you live a life with joy and embrace those moments of possibilities, those moments of life. So the theme that I've come up for this week is embracing you, embracing me. Well, I'm going to be talking about me. Getting over weirdness. For so long, I never accepted who I was. Actually, I'm still learning to embrace my weirdness and embrace all of me. When we don't embrace ourselves, when we don't honor ourselves, we disallow ourselves to shine, to be the fullness of who we are. We are all so unique and we all have gifts to give to the world. And when we can honor our oneness, when we can honor ourselves, it alleviates suffering. It allows surrendering and it removes fear, and life becomes so much easier. We stop looking for love or external validation from the outside, and we allow the love to blossom from inside with us. So often, myself included, we look for validation from others or things or people that are external to us. And this is in essence giving away our power. This is in essence disallowing the fullness of who we are. But when we can look inwards, when we can trust and acknowledge our own guidance system and trust that we are divine beings and we are enough, life gets so much easier. Okay, admittedly, this is a slow learning process, but it alleviates so much suffering, learning to love ourselves. This is my quest for this week, to try and be me. And I've had some incredible interviews this week with mediums and a wonderful man who'd had a near-death experience, and a doctor who is one of the leading oncologists who works in hospice care. And all of those people have taught me that they trust themselves, the power of trusting yourself and what you think and what you believe. And life's short. Embrace life, enjoy life, live a full lived life and be you. There is only one of you. I think the master, Dr. Seuss, summed it up so perfectly. And I'm going to give you this quote. Today, you are you that is truer than true. There is no one alive that is youer than you. Allow yourself to shine. Be you. Someone once told me it's liberating like dancing in the rain. I'm going to encourage you this week to do something, say something that might be a little bit awkward, but you know in your heart that it's right. And when we are ourselves, this is true freedom. It's so joyful, it's liberating, it's fun. So I would encourage you this week to embrace those uncomfortable moments in the knowing that you're speaking your truth. Squirm a little bit, because on the other side, there is absolute freedom. I'm going to give you an example of something that happened to me this week, and it has happened in the past. I'm doing yoga. I'm in a yoga flow, and I've got a lovely teacher. Her name's Harriet. And all of a sudden I received this message that Harriet's grandmother was there. And it has happened before, but I have blocked it off. And because I thought, this is too weird. I don't want to do this. I don't necessarily want to speak with people that had passed in the non-physical. Not that I had any judgment. I just thought people might think I'm strange. And it's almost like giving advice when it hasn't been asked for. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to go with this. This non-physical energy had gone to the effort to contact me and wanted me to connect with her granddaughter. I still always doubt myself. I do sometimes, although I'm learning a lot more, just to completely trust and just be me, be you, do you. That's my message for this week. So I'm having this internal dialogue with myself, but I think it's with the grandmother. And as I'm doing a yoga flow and I'm sweating and I say, okay, you know, I'm going to tell Harriet, my yoga teacher, that her grandmother has come through, but I'm going to need some evidence. I need some validation for this. So instantly I see an older woman on a couch, an armchair, a single armchair, and she's playing with a necklace around her neck, a gold necklace. And I know then that, I don't know how I know, I just know that she'd given a necklace to her granddaughter, Harriet, the yoga teacher. And I said, that's great. You know, if this is actually real, it's fantastic, but can I have a little bit more evidence, please? And then I see her hand and there's a red ring on her hand. And just as I think this thought comes to me, the yoga teacher says rock. So I know the next validation is a red ring or a red rock or a red stone that her grandmother wore. And I said, thank you, you know, thank you for that. Can I please have a little bit more? I'm really pushing it by this stage. But then I see the grandmother leaning over towards her granddaughter and I feel her empathy. I feel her sorrow because I feel that a small dog had nipped her granddaughter. No, it wasn't a dangerous nip. And I see her applying a plaster or a Band-Aid to Harriet, who was a small child then. And that's another validation. I know how sorry the grandmother felt that her dog had nipped her granddaughter. And the final piece was, I see her wheezing and suffering, and I know that in some way her death was related to a respiratory illness. And then my yoga class continues and I'm thinking, oh gosh, I have to think about these points. It was a very gentle, calm conversation. And at the end of the class, I doubted myself again and I thought, oh no, this is so weird. How am I going to go up to the yoga teacher and tell her this, that I'm going to have to find a time when there's no other yoga students around? I can't do this. But then an inner voice said to me, Luisa, in some way you're duty bound because it would make her so happy. And that's what motivated me. I was again thinking, how am I going to get the time to speak to her alone? And as fate may have it, I went to the bathroom and I'd just come out and there she was. And I took a deep breath and I embraced my weirdness and all of me. And I said, Harriet, this might sound really weird, but do you have a grandmother that's passed? And she paused for a moment and she looked at me and her eyes opened wider and she said, yes, I do. She passed recently. And I said, I'm so sorry about this, but I think I have some messages for you. And she said, oh no, I love this. Please continue. And I said, well, I always ask for validation and I don't have a specific message, just to know that your grandmother's here. Did she wear a red ring on her finger? And she said, yes, she did. She had a ruby ring that she always wore. And I said, I see her in an armchair and I feel her sorrow. That, were you ever nipped? Did she have a small dog that nipped you? Not badly, but bit you when you were younger? And she said, yes, I did. And then I said, did she pass? Or one of the reasons that she passed, was that related to a respiratory illness? And she said, yes. And I thought, God, this stuff is actually true. I have to trust my intuition and my guidance more and more. And then I said, I remembered, I said, oh, and I see her sitting on an armchair and I see her playing with a gold necklace around her neck. I was told that she gave you this necklace. And Harriet paused and tears welled up in her eyes. And she lifts up her shirt and she pulls out a necklace and she said, I'm wearing it. And it was such a beautiful moment, and she burst into tears and I burst into tears and we hugged each other. And I said to her, I don't have a specific message. It's just that to know that she's with you. And she said, thank you so much. It means so much to me. And would I say I enjoy this awkwardness? Not really, but I did embrace my weirdness. I did embrace all of that. And I was able to offer someone such comfort. So I think I'll be doing it more often for that fact alone. And for the fact that it didn't matter how Harriet reacted, because I'd spoken my truth and I'd expressed myself and I'd listened to myself, and I honored my meanness, my all of me, and that was what was important. And this ties into living with passion, living a happy life. And we all search for happiness and meaning and purpose. And one of the ways to accelerate our spiritual growth and our joy and our happiness and our meaning and our purpose and embrace passion in our life is to get to know us, to ask ourselves the question, who are we? And honor our thoughts and honor our beliefs and come from a place of love and joy. And this is finding your passion. Those little moments of creativity that come up, honor that, speak it, take a risk, take a jump, take a leap. In each moment, we choose our joy and we choose our sorrow. And I ask you the question, do you want to live a lived life? Or do you want to live a full lived life? Do you want to choose joy? Whatever you choose in this moment, right now, because there is only now. We have the ability of free will. We've been given the gift of freedom, and it's up to you to choose that freedom. And I have to tell you, it feels pretty darn good. So my message for the week is, do you, be all of you, and live a lived life. I hope this has inspired you. Please leave a comment below. Ask me a question. Much love. And until next week, bye for now.